Welcome to the Somos Sunnyside podcast, brought to you by the Communications Department of the Sunnyside Unified School District. Thank you for tuning in while we share stories about the bright side of education.
Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Somos Sunnyside. That's right, we are Sunnyside, and another special guest here today as we have a great show for you, a lot of information that we want to share. We are in that time of year when the holiday seasons are coming up, and we want to make sure to return that favor to our families. And so our families are always in need, and we want to talk a little bit about how you can help out and how we can support some of our families that are in need. So we have generous organizations and individuals who partner with Sunnyside Unified School District and doing amazing things. And speaking of our collaboration, speaking of our partnership, I want to welcome to the show Mr. Steve Nunez. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me. And a big shout out not only to the community, Mi Tucson, but to Sunnyside Unified School District. You guys have done an amazing job over at least the last decade of really embracing the community and, more importantly, being a part of the community. And so I want to give you a big shout out, abrazos fuerte, for all that you and the students do, and really for mentoring and establishing a great community that we just, man, it's so awesome to feel the energy here. So thank you, Jose. I appreciate you.
That. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And all the credit goes to our families. All the credit goes to our students, our employees, and for them believing in our kids, right? I think speaking from personal journeys, and I've said this many times on the show, I'm a graduate of the district. I grew up in this community, and when we were going through this process, anytime this community is in need, our community comes together and they lend helping hands, right? And they support important initiatives, because what we want at the end is our students to have a beautiful experience, a beautiful student experience, and then come back and give back to the community like many of our employees do. And so, what I want to talk a little bit about today is something that you do for the community, the organization, that you've developed over the years. And I think it's in the 20s now, over 20 years you've been doing this, and it's Milagro en el Barrio.
This will be our 23rd year. And over the last 22 years, we've given toys to more than 44,000 kids, many who otherwise might not have received a toy for Christmas. So just to give you a little bit of background, just to back up just a little bit before we get into all of this. Again, my name is Steve Nunez, born and raised in the heart of downtown Tucson. I'm a sixth-generation Tucsonan. I love Sunnyside, but I am a Badger.
All right,
I did graduate from Tucson High School. My background is in media. I was a local reporter, anchor for many years. And how Milagro came about, and one, I know that feeling of waking up Christmas morning. So I know that feeling. But what inspired me as well was a man named Ramon Gonzalez. And I believe he came to either Pueblo or Sunnyside School District. But he used to live right there near Pueblo High School in the Barrio on 31st Street. And he had Miracle on 31st Street. Every year as a reporter at KGA 9, I covered this story. And he would struggle to raise toys to give to the kids in the neighborhood, in the barrio there. And by some miracle, after our news coverage, a lot of people would donate toys. And he'd open up his door, bring toys out. The city of South Tucson got involved, city of South Tucson police, and he gave toys. And years later, I found out that his house got condemned. And at this point, I was in between TV jobs, and I said, you know what? I have to fill that void. Mm-hmm. And that's how that all started. I did it my first year. Mm-hmm. First year, had no idea what to expect. But here we are going on 23 years later, and I have to give a major shout out to Sunnyside, as I did before, because I have many community partners. I mean, it's not just a cliche when you say it takes a village. It truly does take a village. Absolutely. But it takes great partnerships and people who share that same compassion, that same heart. And it started, my connection with Sunnyside started with Maricela Felix, dear friend, somebody I've known for many years, and she's your marketing director and everything else, from what I hear. She does everything. I mean, she can talk for hours about how much she does here. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I know the feeling.
She's sitting right across from me, so I gotta give her a little bit of, And your former superintendent, Steve Holmes, him and I went to the University of Arizona together, and we were members of the first Latino Hispanic fraternity, Omega Delta Phi. So we go back to college, and it was just.
So you guys are brothers.
We are brothers, man. We're brothers, and that's how all of this synergy started.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's just been amazing because the kids of Sunnyside High School have embraced Milagro en el Barrio.
Yeah.
Not only have many gone to the Christmas toy giveaway party, but today, quick shout out. Desert View and Sunnyside High School honor students volunteer every year to help us sort toys in stuffed bags. 2,000 toys.
Absolutely.
By gender and age. It's a lot of work. What used to take us, Maricela, 8 hours to do with the Sunnyside and Desert View High School students now takes maybe 3 hours because we form an assembly line, and it is so amazing. They help me out tremendously. But there's some of the students that have come up to me and they're like, you know what, Steve? I was one of those kids too. And now I'm giving back. And get a little emotional because that warms my heart. It makes me realize we're making a difference.
Absolutely. I mean, a huge difference, and a big thank you to Milagro en el Barrio, to your leadership and the founding fathers, right? You talk about Ramon Gonzalez. Every year, I do see it in the media, see it in the news, and it started with him, right? It started with him paying attention to this piece of there are kids that go without, right? There are families that go without, and these times where you're supposed to come together as families and celebrate these beautiful holidays and traditions. And some individuals and some families don't have the means to do it. And so what you guys are doing is just remarkable. It's just a phenomenal feeling of providing something special to those families that they may not, have otherwise. And so, we, as a school district as well, we understand that piece of giving as well, and so we're very lucky to have a lot of different partnerships and collaborations with organizations, and we make sure we get food boxes during that time.
Yeah.
We have toy drives. There's jacket drives with Corazones Unidos and other organizations that have done a phenomenal, played a phenomenal role in helping out our families. And this is even, bigger in the community, right? You're talking about 2,000 toys that, some of these students or some of these families, you talked about waking up Christmas morning, right? And someone may not have anything, and
I
so
always
it makes
say,
a huge difference.
and I always say, sometimes it's tamales or toys. You either put food on the table or you buy toys, and a lot of families can't do both. So it's not our job to judge. It's our job to give and to give back. And it's not just toys that we're giving, as Maricela can attest to. We're giving these kids something you mentioned earlier, hope.
Absolutely.
And it's hope through showing them that we believe in them, that we care about them. It's hope in showing them that there is spirituality involved in Santa and the fantasy of Santa, because we all believe in that as a kid. But we're hoping for something out of that. We're hoping that he really can fly around the world and give toys. We're hoping that somebody just loves us. And so Milagro has evolved into more than just toys. It's about love, giving a child the greatest Christmas gift of all, love. That way, when they walk away from there, they know that if we could make it, they can make it. If we can give back, they can give back. And we're starting to see that now.
Right. And you stole the words right out of my mouth. I mean, I think it's this piece of paying it forward. You mentioned earlier, one of our students said, I was one of these kids.
Yeah.
I was one of these kids that didn't have, these bunch of toys during Christmas and didn't, our family was struggling. And so I remember that, and now I'm paying it forward. So not only do you give them hope, you bring this other piece into their minds of, it's beautiful to give back. It's beautiful to give back to your community, give back to those that gave to you, right? And so, you spoke about our Sunnyside students, and of course I'm from here, and I'm not surprised. I mean, we have beautiful, beautiful children and kids with big hearts that are always willing to serve, right? And help when help is needed. And so, from what I understand is over the years we've had Desert View's precision manufacturing program that's gone out to help. I mean, that's a national recognized program, one of the top tier programs in the nation, and they're out there doing community service because they understand, this piece of community service. We've had our Mariachi Los Diablitos from Sunnyside High School.
I should mention them. I just got a text yesterday from Chris, the director.
Chris Figueroa.
And he was like, we're in.
Awesome.
And I love that because I bring in mariachis from Davis, bilingual, Roscrooge, from Mansfeld and other middle schoolers, and then, of course, the Diablitos from Sunnyside. And it's so amazing because the other kids get to see their peers performing and doing something that is positive and part of Milagro, the event. And all of a sudden, you see them gravitate to these kids. You see them looking at them. You see them being inspired by them because they're on center stage, and they're performing and doing something like giving back. Mm-hmm. And so it's contagious. It really is. And so it's amazing. And again, there's just so much that we're doing that makes it all good.
And that music brings a special vibe, doesn't it?
It brings a special a vibe. And I want to go back to, yes, hope. But you mentioned something earlier that I thought was very interesting. Why? Defining our why and our purpose. And I think it gives not only us our purpose. We're living our purpose now that we've made it, so to speak. We went to school, we graduated from college, and here we are giving back to the community. But in doing that, we're teaching kids to define their own why and purpose.
Absolutely.
And we're inspiring them without telling them what they need to do. We're just showing them by action. And giving, it's easy to write a check. It's not easy to take action and do the work. That's what we're doing. So we are helping them define their why, their purpose in life, and giving them that God-given spirituality to say, you know what, we can do it. Si se puede. So I love this, man. I really do. I really do.
It's like you were reading our mission statement. We here in Sunnyside, we talk about, cultivating our identity, purpose, and agency, in terms of our students so that they can achieve what they want in life, right? And so part of that is this, these skills of agency. Part of this is identifying what they want in life and what purpose they have. And so these experiences, are fulfilling, for them in terms of, because academics are important, super important, but it's also, it's how you socialize in the community. It's how you give back. It's how you, what's your purpose and how you participate, as a member of this community. And so, speaking of Mariachi Los Diablitos, every year, people don't know this, but they probably do over 100 gigs every year. And these gigs are community service gigs, right?
Yeah.
Organizations like yours come out and say, hey, can you come perform? And they get it. It's a bigger piece. It's just not them performing. It's them giving back to the community. And so obviously I don't want to fail to mention our student councils, at both Desert View and Sunnyside have continued to participate in El Milagro en el Barrio. And so a big shout out to all our schools that are involved. And I want to talk a little bit about
all of the students. Big shout out to all of the students, because without them, we can't be a whole community. So thank you to all you, as I like to say, brochachos and brochachas. Thank you.
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break there. Don't go away. We got a little bit more to talk about, and we're going to talk a little bit about how you can get involved.
You will love SUSD. Don't believe us? Just watch. In Sunnyside Unified School District, students dream big, learn boldly, and grow confidently. From hands-on STEM and arts programs to student athletes earning athletic scholarships, Sunnyside District gives every student a place to shine. Enrollment for the 26-27 school year is now available. Enroll today at susd12.org.
All right, we are back. So we have Milagro and El Barrio in the house, Mr. Steve Nunez, and we're talking about the remarkable things that they're doing for the community, the hope they're bringing families, the changes in lives, right? Changing lives, one child at a time. And so we want to explain to the community how they can get involved. I mean, this obviously there's nothing free in this world. I mean, things cost money. I'm sure you have fundraising events. I'm sure you have timelines to gather 2,000 toys, right? 2,000 presents. I think of it that way. And you have your community members. You have students that come stuff bags. Tell us a little bit about how the community can get involved. So if there's listeners out there that say, hey, I want to donate some money. I want to donate some toys. I want to be part of this. What do you say to them?
Call me. 520-991-2722. 520-991-2722. Definitely call me. Why? Because I will help you get involved to give back. And I'll direct you to where you can donate monetarily, if that's what you so choose to do. Or I can show you the many toy drives that we are hosting where you can drop off a toy. Or I can give you more information on how you can show up the day up, bring your kids, and have them volunteer to give back. There are many ways to do it, but again, it goes back to also community. We have so many partners, and it's we're giving toys, and this year, it's hard. I have to do a lot of fundraising because the price point for toys has gone up over the last even 5 years. The other thing people don't realize is years ago, 8-year-olds, 9, 10, 11-year-olds, Barbies and race cars were cool. Now they're not. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14-year-olds, they all want electronics. Yeah. The wireless speakers, the headphones. So my price point has gone up. So I do a lot of fundraising. So, if you want to donate monetarily or you're in that position to do so, please do so. If you're not, that's okay. Bring your kids to Milagro en el Barrio because that's what we're here for. Milagro en el Barrio will take place on Saturday, December the 20th. Santa arrives at 8 a.m. Santa is legit. Trust me, he's legit. Little kids pull his beard and it's not coming off. It's not going to snap back. It's not going to pull down and snap back and hurt him. It's a real legit beard. And he arrives at 8 a.m. The kids from Davis Bilingual Mariachi Group, they serenade him. And that's how we kick off Milagro en el Barrio every year. So bring the kids, let them volunteer, or bring them so that they can receive a toy. But we're also giving them, they'll get balloons, they'll get a bag filled with information, including information from Sunnyside Unified School District, because a lot of parents during the holidays need that information. They'll get a candy bag, and a legit candy bag with like big Snickers, not the little ones, not the Halloween candy, not the leftover Halloween candy. These are legit. Pioneer Title has been doing that for me for many years. General Dentistry for Kids gives a hygiene bag.
One of our partners.
Sonoran Foot and Ankle, they give information in little monitos to the kids. Of course, they get toys. They get Peter Piper Pizza coins and bounce back coupons. They get Chick-fil-A feeds all the kids. Chick-fil-A Alcon.
That's awesome.
Okay, no questions asked. And this year, not only are they feeding all the kids, they're giving them all a digital card for a bounce back to get an extra meal during the holidays.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then EGs gives them all EGs. Then La Frontera is there. And guess what we're doing this year? They get face painting too, by the way. Remember the red nylon stockings?
I do.
I used to get one of those.
But
yeah.
I remember it.
Well, you ruined that for me. The visual. No, the red nylon stockings that we used to get as kids that had the orange, the apple, and the cacahuates and the holiday candy. we're giving those out this year.
Oh, that's awesome.
We got sponsors.
The little netted ones.
The little netted ones, yeah. And so that was a long time goal and dream of mine to give those out again and recreate them. And we're recreating our Milagro stocking, and it's all about people who have experienced Milagro, have given back to Milagro, and the reason is because they made it too. Mm-hmm. They know what it's like, to grow up and just the meaning of giving has just changed for us. So I'm excited about that. I want to see the kids' faces when they receive one of those stockings and it has an orange, an apple, cacahuates. Cisco Foods is donating a lot to help us. Mm-hmm. My friend Patrick Lopez, who used to own MPG Auto, is funding a big part of this. But it's a community effort. Correct. I have so many partners. Pyramid Federal Credit Union could not do this without these partners who come and give to the kids, because we're not charging, we're giving. You can be a sponsor and a partner, but you got to give something of value to the kids. Not a marketing item, something of value. Food, candy, toys, good information though, like Sunnyside provides the parents, things like that. And so
it
honestly,
truly takes a village. It really does. I think you hit it on the nose there in terms of, you can't do this alone. I mean, it's a huge endeavor. And so it takes people understanding the why. It takes individuals, wanting to give and not wanting to receive anything back. Right.
Correct.
And so, it's all to make this a special day for children, to make this a special day for families. And so you talked a little bit about the date. That's December 20th. Where is this taking place?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Exactly?
My bad. I just went off on a tangent there. I like to hear myself talk. So it's at St. John's Church, 602 West Ajo Way, which is Ajo and 12th Avenue. We're all familiar with St. John's.
That's right.
I mean, especially on this side of town.
A shout out to Father Raul there at St. John's.
He's been a partner for us for many years, Monsignor Treviso. Mm-hmm. And St. John's just helps us out a lot. So it's really in the park. So during school, when St. John's school is in session, they use that as a playground. On the weekends, it's a city park. So then I partner with the city to let me use the park and rent it out and have a big pachanga there for the kids. It's amazing.
That's awesome. So you heard it here, families, listeners. If you want to get involved, give Mr. Nuñez a call. Blow up his phone.
520-991-2722. I'm going to sing it like
Rafi. No, we don't get free advertising.
Oh, my bad. But I just want the jingle, man. 520-991-2722.
But we can throw it out there to the Rafi group.
No, man, I just want that jingle, man. That jingle gets on my nerves, but I like how effective it is. Let's be honest.
So there you have it. Is there a website or is it just the phone
number?
You
can go to my website and just learn a little bit more about me.
Because kids are tech savvy now.
Yeah. www.stevenunez520.com. And that's S as in Sam, Teve. Nuñez is N as in Nancy, U, N as in Nancy, EZ, 520.com. SteveNunez520.com.
Well, there you have it. So those of you that are wondering how you can get involved, there you go. Let's make this the best one.
Absolutely.
Ever.
Let's make this the best Milagro en el Barrio ever. Once again, Saturday, December 20th, St. John's Church. Santa arrives at 8 a.m. We stop around noonish or until we run out, but we usually give 2,000 toys out within that span and much, much more. All the kids will get fed, and I mean, there's so much fun. There's face painting. And here's my mission statement. I know you talked about yours. Now it's my turn to talk about my mission statement.
Let's give you that opportunity.
Okay. Together, we will help put a smile on a child's face for Christmas. And together, we will give a child the greatest Christmas gift of all, love.
Absolutely.
That's Milagro en el Barrio. So I appreciate you, Sunnyside. I appreciate you all. Much love to all of you.
Well, there you have it. Again, December 20th, Santa arrives at 8 a.m. at St. John's Church. So we hope to see you all there. We hope that this is the best one yet. Milagro en el Barrio. And this concludes our episode of Somos Sunnyside. Thank you, Mr. Nuñez.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you having me on here.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Somos Sunnyside. We hope you enjoyed the conversation and found it entertaining. If you liked what you heard, don't forget to subscribe and share our podcast with la comunidad. For updates on future episodes and more, be sure to follow us on social media and visit our website at susd12.org. We appreciate your support and can't wait to have you back for the next episode. Hasta la próxima vez en Somos Sunnyside.